Hello, my friends. I'm Dick Hellman, back with you with the first of our 2015 Middle East Security Alerts. Today, I want to come to you with a little different message. Basically, I want to tell you that Uncle Dick needs you. What do I need you for? Of course, I need you to come to Capitol Hill with me every time you have an opportunity to come to Washington and to be with me Monday through Friday. Of course, sometimes our new hard-working, energetic Congress is even working on weekends or evenings. But you come and I assure you, I'll bring you to Capitol Hill. You'll meet senators, representatives, and most important, the key staff people who work for them. And a little aside, from the time I worked on an excellent Senate committee, we used to say in our private meetings, of course when the senators weren't there, that the problem with our committee was that lots of the senators were smart enough to be staff members. Now thankfully, if they heard that, they had a sense of humor and they didn't fire us all as they might have. But seriously, staff members are critical, and there are many good staff members on the Hill. So you come, we'll go to the Hill. But I also need you first and foremost to mark on your calendars the dates, June 12th to June 22nd, June 12th to 22nd of this year of the Lord 2015, because we are going to Israel for the latest of our Merkel Miracle missions. This mission is going to explore areas where we have never been before. In all my years of going to Israel and taking missions to Israel after living a full 7 years in the land, here are some places either that I have not been to even for the first time or have not been there in such a long time that they've been completely changed. I'll just give you some examples. We are going to go to Samaria, biblical Samaria, part of what the world calls the West Bank, and we are going to go to places where I haven't been in a long time, like Shiloh or Shiloah in the Bible. And we are going to, of course, go back to our friends in Shari Tikva, which means Gate of Hope in Samaria, and Ariel, the big burgeoning city with a wonderful university and a terrific industrial zone. We didn't make it there last year because of scheduling difficulties, but we're going to have a lot of Samaria. We also, in light of our desire to learn about the military and strategic implications of Israel, because Israel is a bulwark of our defense, Israel defends America. I'd like you to think about that. Israel defends America. It's not the other way around. Trust me, particularly today. We always go to a Navy base where we know the commanders and the men, and they give us a royal welcome. We always go to the armor and infantry forces of the Golan Heights or elsewhere in Israel, depending on the situation, and they welcome us warmly. And we've seen great combined arms exercises, including 2 years ago. But this time, I believe, we really are going to land an appointment to go for a special tour of an Israel Air Force base, the Tel Aviv, which is reputed to be the best Air Force in the world, has more than a dozen Air Force bases, and we have a special inside contact who is going to set up our appointment to go to an Israel Air Force base, if by all means possible and reasonable in terms of their situation at the time. But I believe that's going to come to pass. Also, we are going to go and hear from a head of Israeli intelligence, now retired, who will tell us things that we've never heard and never known about the intelligence situation of Israel. I think that's important. And that may be him calling us right now, because we have calls into Israel for all of these appointments, and they may be calling us back. But anyway, we're going to go hear a chief of Israeli intelligence, probably the best that they ever have had, one who soon will be prominent in the Israel government. Not to overlook the historical, archaeological, and biblical parts of the mission, because we go to all the key Jewish and Christian and archaeological sites, we are going to go to Sepphoris, which is a wonderful city with magnificent frescoes and other artistic wonders from the time of Jesus, where Jesus likely went with his father to do carpentry. It's an hour's walk from Nazareth. We also, when we get to Jerusalem, are going to do our level best to go up on the Temple Mount, which we have not been allowed to do in the last couple of years, but I believe we'll be back there this year. We also are going to go to the newly uncovered site, which prominent archaeologists and my good friend, the rector of Christ Church inside the Jaffa Gate, believe well may be the place where Jesus' trial took place, where Jesus was tried, not a fair trial, but a trial, before he was tortured, crucified, and died and arose. So we're going to many other places, but these are some of the key places where we haven't been or where I have not been in many years, and they've changed completely, and there's much more known about them. So our wonderful Israeli tour agents from Galilee Travel and our excellent Israeli Sabra guide to Israel is going to take us to these places and probably have other ideas, exciting ideas, of which I haven't yet heard. So I want to tell you again, Uncle Dick needs you and you and you to sign up and say, we're interested in that mission, and we are looking at using the money we get from our tax refund, or using the money from our dividends as our stocks and bonds increase, or putting away $100 or $150 every week or so that we will have the money to go when the time comes, June 12th to June 22nd. And if you make the decision, believe God's telling you, or if you will, you have that intuition, you have that feeling inside your heart that you're supposed to go, the money will be there, your family situation, your work situation, and everything else will conform themselves to your quality decision that you're coming with me to Israel on this latest Miracle Merkel mission to explore and learn about the Holy Land and how better to express our solidarity toward Israel and carry Israel's case to Capitol Hill. Thanks again. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.